Monday morning starting out with temperatures in the teens, wind chills in the single digits. We'll show you how long it's been since we've woken up to temperatures this low coming up.
Ooh, yeah, keeping kids warm. Wake County schools are facing the cold this morning, especially students as they head out the door. How schools are making sure they are staying safe in these freezing temperatures. Plus, Rob Reiner dead. His family confirms he and his wife were found stabbed in their LA home. The reaction this morning from Hollywood as police work to learn what happened. Well, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Keely Arthur, and if you are getting up and you've been outside at all, you know it is freezing. Meteorologist Chris Michaels in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. And Chris, you say these temperatures are basically record-breaking right now.
Well, at least for the year, right? This is the coldest that we've had all of 2025, tying what we hit on January the 23rd. Current temperature in the Triangle is at 16 degrees. So obviously the thick jacket, the hat, the gloves, and then later on the sunglasses will be needed. Wall-to-wall sunshine. And hey, this time of year, we're approaching the winter solstice, so the sun is at its lowest point, adding some additional glare on your drive into work. It's only about 31 degrees above the horizon, so just keep that in mind once the sun rises closer to 7 o'clock this morning. It will be a sunny day, but it's that Arctic air that's in place as you're stepping outside this morning. Yeah, multiple layers will do you some good. High temperatures all across the board between 37 and 39 degrees this afternoon. Then we turn mild through the rest of the week. Our next weather maker doesn't arrive really until Thursday. Thursday night is our highest rain chance. But coming up, I'll show you why we don't expect a huge drop in temperatures once that passes. And we'll look ahead to the long-term trends as we get closer to Christmas Day. Keely?
All right. Thank you, Chris. Well, it is a cold day ahead for teachers and students in the Triangle. Wake County Schools is making sure they are prepared for the frigid temperatures. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is live at Dillard Drive Elementary School in Raleigh. And Kelsey, schools say they are prepared for this cold weather.
Yes, Keely, this morning students will be waiting in the cold at the bus stop. Wake School says that they've instructed all of their bus drivers to arrive at the depot about 15 minutes early to make sure that those buses are warmed up and ready to go. So we're outside of Dillard Drive Elementary School here, and we've got our temperature gun to show us the road temperatures, and it looks like we're at about 12 degrees here for road temperatures. We know that this is, of course, the coldest day of the year. When we checked in with Wake Schools about what they're doing as far as their HVAC systems to make sure that those systems will be prepared as students will be in the classroom. They say that they don't have any issues so far. They did make sure that they checked any of the schools that have had issues in the past with their HVAC systems, both yesterday and early this morning, to make sure they don't have any problems as students are in the classroom. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
Oh, Kelsey, you are a trooper out there. Thank you. Well, the Arctic blast is also causing problems for travelers up and down the East Coast. WRAL's Laura Levine is live at RDU this morning. And Laura, a lot of people are having some travel headaches because of this weather.
Keely, good morning. Listen, here at RDU, we saw more than 140 delays and dozens of cancellations last night. And this morning, most of the flight cancellations we see are flights heading to New York City. Here on the board, all of the Delta flights headed to JFK are canceled. So a weekend storm sent temperatures plunging well below zero in the Midwest and dumped heavy snow on parts of the Northeast on Sunday. There were over 1,000 flights delayed and hundreds of cancellations at airports across the country due to weather. Now, during the last Arctic blast, RDU shared how the airport takes steps to really mitigate any issues. Freezing temperatures require airlines to take extra steps to make sure snow, slush, and ice don't accumulate on aircraft. So they spray de-icing fluid on sidewalks, roads, runways, and taxiways. So this morning, I did reach out to RDU to see if they have begun some of their winter preps here for this winter season. Of course, we're going to continue to monitor the progress and situation here at the airport. Laura Levine, WRAL News, live at RDU.
All right. Well, thousands of people in Wake Forest have their heat back on this morning. Oh, my gosh, after high winds knocked out their power. Wake Electric says a falling tree brought down several utility poles. Crews worked through the evening to get the service back on. Police say the bitter cold has forced them to change their routines and just take some extra precautions.
We heat by propane, so when I know that it's about to be bad weather, we go ahead and make that delivery so that we don't have to worry about it. And like I said, I keep the trips outside very minimal.
Very smart. Our emergency officials say even brief outages and extreme cold can be very dangerous. They are urging people to stay prepared. Resources for this cold weather will include warming shelters, blankets, heaters, food, and water. They're also encouraging people to have a disaster kit. And remember, you can track the hour-by-hour forecast with the free WRAL weather app. Make sure to turn on push notifications to get important weather alerts sent right to your phone. Breaking news. Raleigh police are investigating after someone arrived at a business with a stab wound. Police say the victim showed up at South Saunders Street early this morning, but that was not where the stabbing happened. Police say the person had non-life-threatening injuries, but there's still no word yet on if there is a suspect or any arrests. This morning, we are learning more about the death of actor and director Rob Reiner and his wife, Michelle. Overnight, their family confirmed that the couple was found dead in their home from apparent stab wounds. Homicide detectives were seen outside the Reiners' home in Los Angeles last night. Police say they have not identified a suspect and no one has been detained. Reiner is best known for his role as Michael Meathead Stivic on All in the Family or Jessica Day's father in New Girl, and for directing films like The Princess Bride, When Harry Met Sally, and A Few Good Men. The manhunt continues for the suspect in the deadly mass shooting at Brown University. We know that the person of interest was detained, but they have been released. Officials say the evidence now points in a different direction. No arrests have been made in the shooting that killed 2 students and injured 9 others Saturday. Police have released video of the suspect. There it is. Brown University says campus will remain open through December 22nd, with most in-person exams canceled. WRAL has learned that one of the students injured in the shooting graduated from Durham Academy this past spring. A message sent by the head of school said, quote, "Our alumna, Kendall Turner, from 2025 class was among those wounded in Saturday's shooting." Kendall's parents, Kara and Kenny, arrived in Providence that night. She underwent surgery and is now resting in critical but stable condition. A man and woman are dead after a shooting at a Raleigh apartment complex. Police say they were called to Foxcliff Lane Sunday afternoon. That's off of Fox Road near I-540. Officers found the man and woman dead. Police say they are working to figure out the relationship between the two. The investigation is ongoing. And we are working to learn more about a crash that shut down a lane of I-95 in Cumberland County on Sunday. This is near Old Wilmington Road. Video from the WRAL breaking news tracker shows a tractor-trailer cab in the wood line. We've reached out to the Highway Patrol for information about this crash and to learn if anyone was injured. A man is dead and another person injured after a shooting in Fayetteville. It happened on Cliffdale Road Sunday morning. Officers say they found a man with a gunshot wound when they arrived. He later died at the hospital. A second person showed up at the hospital with a gunshot wound to the leg. Police have not released the names yet. And today, a former UNC Rex nurse accused of sexually assaulting patients will be back in court. Brian Alvarez Ortiz is accused of assaulting at least 3 patients now while they were sedated and recovering from surgery. Court documents show he is a Mexican citizen with a U.S. green card. He could face deportation if convicted or if he takes a plea deal. UNC Rex fired Alvarez Ortiz after the allegations surfaced. A Goldsboro man who is accused of sexual assaulting a child has his first appearance in court today. Goldsboro police arrested this man, 21-year-old Demius Williams Turnage, on the 16 counts this past Friday. That's after officers received reports of incident liberties with a child back in August. During their investigation, police said multiple victims were identified, including 2 juveniles and an 18-year-old. NC State's men's soccer team is 1 win away from a national championship. The Wolfpack defeated St. Louis University Friday night. It is the first time in the program history that the Wolfpack has reached the College Cup final. Tonight, the team will take on the Washington Huskies. The game kicks off at 7 p.m. at Wake Med Soccer Park in Cary. It was the hire no one saw coming Bill Belichick to UNC. In coaching Carolina the Belichick way, our WRAL documentary unit exposes the power plays, the personal life scrutiny, and the shifting economics that pushed Carolina to go all in on Belichick.
Carolina, is no secret, is a basketball school. But in the modern college landscape, you can't just be a basketball school. All the revenue, football drives the bus.
They think the biggest name possible is the answer.
Carolina is the #1 public university in the world. Why can't we be great at football?
Coaching Carolina features insight from NFL legend and analyst Boomer Esiason and the ACC's Wes Durham and editor of The Athletic, Stuart Mandel. You can watch Coaching Carolina the Belichick Way Thursday night at 7:30 on TV or where we stream WRAL or on WRAL's YouTube channel. Tonight's Powerball jackpot is now sitting at $1.1 billion. That's a lump sum cash prize of more than $503 million. Now, there was no jackpot winner in Saturday night's drawing, but 2 tickets, including one sold in North Carolina, won $2 million. You can watch the next drawing tonight on WRAL just before our 11 p.m. newscasts. Just ahead, a senseless act of violence. More than a dozen people killed and 40 others hurt in a mass shooting in Australia. The father and son police believe are responsible for the attack. And the light in dark times. Governor Stein's message to North Carolinians during a historic Hanukkah ceremony. And here is a live look at Benton and Cary this morning. You need to bundle up before you head out. Just ahead, meteorologist Chris Michaels shows us when it could actually warm up this week.
From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
4:45 on this very cold Monday morning as we give you a live look at our tower, all lit for the holiday season, and all the weather giving us a visit from the North Pole this morning. Roanoke Rapids at 11 degrees, Henderson at 12, Roxborough 14, Raleigh at 16. That ties the coldest that we've hit so far in 2025. Siler City down to 12, Irwin's at 19, Fayetteville 18, so just teens across the board. And then you've got that little bit of wind, and I actually said out loud when I was walking into work this morning, I'm like, that just cuts right through you. So as we go throughout the day, the wind will calm. We'll see plenty of sunshine, but it will still be a very cold, very dry day. But it does set the festive tone if you've got some holiday shopping to continue doing. Our highs today in the upper 30s, but a complete 180 in our weather pattern. We'll show you if that lasts into the upcoming Christmas holiday coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Chris. Well, new this morning, we're learning new information about a deadly chain of events in Robeson County. According to the sheriff's office, EMS crews were taking 36-year-old Cheyenne Woods to the hospital when he pulled a gun, hijacked the ambulance, and then drove away. Authorities say Woods then crashed into another vehicle, got out, and shot 74-year-old Marie Locklear of Red Springs. Now, Locklear later died of her injuries. Deputies arrested Woods nearby. Woods is now facing first-degree murder and multiple felony charges, including weapons offenses and robbery. The sheriff called it a senseless act of repeat violent offenses. The investigation continues with more charges expected. Police say 15 people are now dead and 40 others are in the hospital after a shooting at Australia's famous Bondi Beach during a Hanukkah celebration. Officials say the suspect was a father and son. 50-year-old father was shot and killed by police, but the son, a 24-year-old, is in critical yet stable condition. Stephanie Bennett explains the latest on this situation.
Police say the father held a firearms license for several years, owning 6 weapons. All 6 were found at the scene. Australia has strict gun laws, and officials say they will look at making them even stricter. The Australian Prime Minister said this was an act of pure evil, anti-Semitism, and terrorism. He was asked if the government had failed the Jewish community. Here's his response.
This is a time where all Australians need to wrap our arms around Jewish Australians. So we stand with them. We stand against anti-Semitism. We will do whatever is necessary to stamp it out.
It all started just before 7 p.m. Witnesses say 2 gunmen began firing from a bridge towards people celebrating the first day of Hanukkah, and a public menorah lighting was about to begin. Police say several improvised explosive devices were also found in one of the suspects' cars. No motive has been released. A bystander is being called a hero after disarming one of the suspects. He has been identified by local media as Ahmed Al-Ahmed, a fruit shop owner. He was injured and is at a local hospital. President Donald Trump recognized his brave efforts.
A very, very brave person, actually, who went and attacked frontally one of the shooters and saved a lot of lives. So very brave person who's right now in the hospital, pretty seriously wounded. So I great respect to that man that did that.
That was Stephanie Bennett reporting. For now, police in London, Berlin, and New York say they will step up security sites with Jewish locations. In D.C., security was increased for the lighting of the national menorah on Sunday. The Trump administration joined Congress for the annual event marking the first night of Hanukkah. The ceremony took place on the eclipse in the front of the White House. The lighting ceremony was dedicated to the memory of the victims in that mass shooting. And here at home, a historic Hanukkah ceremony took place right here in Raleigh on Sunday. Josh Stein, North Carolina's first Jewish governor, lit the menorah at the executive mansion. Governor Stein says Hanukkah reminds us to maintain hope even in the darkest of times. The governor also held a meeting with the North Carolina Jewish Clergy Association to discuss the efforts to address rising anti-Semitism. Take a look at this video of snow. Oh my gosh, on Ocracoke Island, the snow likely developed due to very cold air flowing over the relatively warmer waters of the Sounds out there. Meteorologist Chris Michaels. Chris, how rare is something like this?
I've not seen that happen very often, right? It's something that you see toward the Great Lakes when you've got that Arctic air moving over, but to have it happen there along the Pamlico Sound toward the Outer Banks, not exactly common. This isn't exactly common either. At 16 degrees here in the Triangle, that ties the coldest mark that we've hit in 2025. If we drop to 15, it would be the coldest since December of 2022. But regardless, very cold. In the white box is your wind chill, so definitely one of those days you gotta wear the layers. The reason why we even talk about the wind chill all comes down to how our bodies respond to the cold. On an ordinary calm day, you've got this layer of warmth between your skin and the air around you, but when the wind blows, it blows that layer of protective warmth away, so you feel colder than maybe what the thermometer indicates. The wind chill is in that pinkish purple color, the air temperature in the blue, and you notice there's not a whole lot of separation between the two. As we head into the afternoon, expect high temperatures between 37 and 39 degrees. As we head into the overnight, we'll have that clear sky, we'll have that bone dry air, but the wind calms down, so we get what's called radiational cooling, meaning that we cool quickly once again heading toward tomorrow morning. Lows in the low 20s. But look, as we head throughout the week, the morning lows and the afternoon highs will continue to climb. By Thursday, we're in the low to mid 60s. And in fact, this is a trend that likely continues as we get closer to Christmas Day, which is, of course, 10 days away. So we can't go getting into specific numbers, but with high pressure over the southern U.S., that likely means a warmer than average and a drier Christmas holiday. So the last time we had a white Christmas in the Triangle was 1966, so the odds are usually not in our favor. All right, next 7 days, 30s for today after starting out in the teens this morning. But look at that, high temperatures in the 60s on Thursday. And ironically enough, winter officially begins Sunday and high temperatures will be in the 60s. Keely?
That is very ironic considering how cold it is right now. Well, just ahead, Triangle Holiday Parades. We are going to show you the Christmas cheer that took over the streets this weekend. Plus, Taylor Swift and a giant snake are making news today. Douglas Hyde has that and more.